All right, y'all, it is time. It is time for another Halloween home decor DIY video. I've done these videos for the past 2 years and I just could not imagine skipping it this year, even though I was trying to talk myself out of it. And a ton of you guys said you needed this video, so I'm here for you. We're doing it. I don't know what I'm about to get into. I've got 3 projects in mind, but I'm not trying to make any promises because, as you know, this is not a DIY channel. This is all for fun for me. I am not a professional crafter. I just have fun with it. I actually saw a comment come in today on one of my old Halloween videos because 'tis the season. And the comment literally said something like, "This is set up like a tutorial, but she keeps saying she doesn't know what she's doing. I've never seen another fall DIY video like this, but it was suggested to me, LOL." Obviously, she was new, and if you are new, I'm so sorry. I'm just having fun, but I've got 3 projects in mind. We're gonna make it happen. I've done it before, I will do it again. If you wanna watch my other Halloween DIY videos, I will link those in the description down below. I will also link other sources of inspiration. I've watched a bunch of Halloween and fall DIY videos. I've seen a lot of stuff on Pinterest. I've taken a lot of inspiration from that. I'm gonna try to mishmash it all together, make my own thing. But I'll link all that down below if you want more inspiration or you wanna see what has inspired me, because I wanna give credit where credit is due, of course. Just look at this madness on my dining room table. I have a ton of stuff that I found at the Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree for sourcing supplies for DIYs, but then I also have a bunch of stuff that I found in the cheapo section at Target. So like the dollar spot, I don't know what they call it now, but it's all like the cheap stuff in the front, you know what I mean? I've got a ton of skulls and skeletons as usual, and I've got some new interesting spray paint options. We've got like a terracotta color one. I'm very excited to use that. Okay, at this point, I'm definitely rambling. I need to stop, and we're gonna get started with a little centerpiece situation using this guy. All right, so we brought the party outside to the garage. I've got a few different colors of spray paint. These 3 are new and I'm very excited to use them. This is just a good matte black. This is gonna be matte black. I'm gonna do this skull in this sienna textured stone spray. And then all of these little bones are gonna be in the bleached stone textured spray. Okay, I'm pretty sure that was a failed experiment. There's really basically no coverage with this stone textured spray paint. I don't know what I was imagining, but it definitely wasn't this. I guess I'm just gonna let these guys dry and see what I can do with them from there. Now we gotta move on to this guy. Oh, I think I made a mistake here. Kind of looks like it just got a ton of sand on it. I don't know if that looks cool or disgusting. I guess it's okay if it looks disgusting. It's kind of part of the whole Halloween thing. Let me do one more spray. I'm making mistakes. Okay, so obviously this spray paint is not meant to do like a full coverage coat. I'm gonna have to come up with a different plan for this, but it does create a really cool texture and it breaks down that like smooth, shiny plastic look. So I'm just gonna try to let this dry and then go over it with something else. I don't know what yet. All right, I'm back inside. I'm gonna start working on another project while everything outside dries. I knew I was taking kind of a risk with that stone textured spray paint, but I think it's gonna turn out cool and I think it's gonna add something a little bit different, a little bit special, but it might take a few extra steps. But for right now, I'm gonna be making a Halloween sign. I'm gonna be using 2 like square-ish signs from the Dollar Tree. I think these are Thanksgiving. Friends gather here. We're gonna flip those over, connect them, paint them, and that's gonna be the background of the sign. I'm also gonna paint and attach this spooky Halloween house. And then across the top, I have these little Happy Halloween wood cutouts that I got from Target, and I'm gonna attach one of these also. Saying this so confidently. All right, first up, I gotta get rid of these little hanger things. Fit those guys together. I got a pack of these craft sticks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna use these to connect the 2 signs and give them some support. They're basically like popsicle sticks or tongue depressors. I'm gonna use my glue gun so it will set really quickly and I can give it a coat of paint. It took basically no time for these sticks to dry, and I'm gonna flip it over, and I noticed there is a small little gap right here in the middle, and then we obviously have the 2 holes for the hangers, and this is a totally extra step, but I'm gonna use a little bit of this patch stuff, and I'm gonna see if I can fix those gaps. Definitely not perfect, but it's better than it was. Now I'm gonna take our sign out and also the house, and we're gonna spray paint both of them. Okay, so for the background of the sign, we're gonna be using this matte French cream, like off-white color spray. All right, we've got a good coat of off-white over here, so I'm gonna move on to my creepy Halloween house, and I'm just gonna use matte black. Looking good, spooky. Okay, I just noticed one unintended outcome of spraying this guy cream while this bowl was drying over here. I'd flipped it upside down because the bottom was already dry, and it was just completely black before I started spraying the cream spray. And look what happened. It's like this weird, like, marbly look. I don't even know how to explain how this happened, but I think I'm just gonna go with it because I think it looks really cool. All right, before I go in and let all this stuff dry, I'm gonna go over this background piece with the stone finish off-white color. I'm really not sure how this is gonna turn out, but I feel like it can give it a much more creepy texture, and it won't just be like basic flat off-white. Plus, my little sealing technique did not go over as well as I expected, even with the paint on. So I'm thinking this might save the day or ruin the day. We'll see. Ew, I don't like it. Mistake, 911. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think it looks kind of gross. Maybe that's a good thing. I'm gonna think about it, let it dry. We'll see what happens later. All right, I'm back. It's been a couple of hours, and I think I'm gonna cover the bones and the skull with this off-white color. I do really like this sandblast kind of look, but maybe I could even do that on top of the off-white color. I just really want it to be kind of like a clean black and cream kind of look, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, now it's time to work on my little Happy Halloween wood cutouts. It actually has a sticky back, so you can just stick it onto whatever you want. So I kind of have to be careful because I don't want it to stick down to anything where it will lose its stickiness. So I put on a glove so I can actually hold it while I'm spray painting it with my cinnamon spray paint, so I can give it a little bit of a pop of color. All right, y'all, I'm back. It's a new day. Everything that I spray painted is now dry. I brought it all in, and I'm ready to construct those first 2 projects and start on my last one. I think I came up with a new idea that makes my sign a little bit more complicated, but I think it's gonna make it a million times more cute. So we're just gonna jump right into it. The first thing that I'm gonna work on finishing up is the centerpiece with the skull. Oh my gosh, out of the corner of my eye, I just caught a glimpse of these skeleton hands from last year. I brought down almost all of my Halloween decor DIYs from the last 2 years. I still love them. I think they also still have these at the dollar store. Anyway, off topic. Let's get started on the centerpiece. Okay, I'm surprisingly happy with how this skull came out. I thought I was gonna have to do more painting steps, but I really think that stone texture spray that I put on first really helped disguise the fact that it's just a plastic skull that I spray painted off white. It just adds a little bit more creepy texture to it, and I'm really happy with it. And I pretty much did the exact same thing to these bones. They were the same kind of like greenish off-white tone that the skull was, and it has a little bit of that stone texture on the outside. And then I just went over both sides with the cream. And then let me show you, I'm not sure if you could fully see the texture while this bowl was still in the garage. I had every intention of spraying the inside with the matte black as well, but once I saw how this reacted to the spray paint, I kind of loved it. And so I'm just gonna leave it shiny like this because I think it looks kind of spooky and weird, and I really can't explain why it took the spray paint like this, but I'm going with it. So the idea is skull goes in the middle, and then I'm going to attach the bones around it like this. That's definitely not a good representation, but it's kind of the idea. I'm really happy with how the Skull and Bones centerpiece turned out. Obviously, I need to secure my skull down to the bowl to get it together a little bit. But as I was finishing off gluing down the bones, I had an idea, a dangerous idea, an idea that could ruin everything. But now that I've had the idea, I cannot let go of the idea. I got these taper candles from Target. I think they were $3 for a set of 2. They're just plain white. And I feel like it would look so cool to have the taper candle coming out from the middle of the head, just one of them. And I thought about this for a while. I took a good little break, charged my camera a little bit, and thought about this. And initially, I really wanted to cut a hole in the top of the skull and put the taper candle in. And I realized that would be really difficult. I tried a couple of things to test it, and I just think there are way too many ways that could go wrong. And so what I'm gonna do, or what I'm gonna attempt to do, is cut the candle and just glue it to the top where I want it. Probably easier said than done. I should probably stop while I'm ahead, but I can't let this go. I have to at least try with the candle. Not at all even, but we're gonna work on it. Okay, so I think this height works for the top of the skull. I think this makes sense. But since this is a rounded surface to glue it down on, it might look a little awkward and very glued on. So I'm gonna try to heat this up and kind of make it a little bit malleable before I glue it down, and hopefully it like becomes the perfect shape. That's the idea. I also really want it to have some nice drips down the candle. Let's see if we can make that happen. All right, so obviously this is the part of the video where we just play with fire. Didn't really know we were gonna be doing this today, but here we are. All right, so I've got, you know, a couple of drips. It could definitely be a lot drippier and a lot spookier, but this is what I was willing to wait for. Now I am going to do something. I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, softening up the bottom isn't working as well as I'd hoped. So what I'm gonna try to do is just hollow out the middle a little bit to make it fit. Okay, so hopefully you can see I've dug out the middle a little bit. I don't know, I think it helped a little bit. I think it's probably good enough. Let's just go ahead and get our hot glue going. All right, let's just go for it. What's done is done. Okay, I fear I used too much glue because you can see it around a little bit. Maybe it can hide the flaws. I like it. Is it a little bit crooked? Oops, oops, oops. It did not stick at all, but the glue is stuck down, and if I peel the glue, I also peel the skull. Oh no, now he has a bald spot. Okay, let's see. All right, I stuck it again with the hot glue. All right, let's just see if we can get a little E6000 under there, because it's sort of sticking and sort of not. Which obviously we want this to be a family heirloom and last for 30 years. Pass it down to our children, so it needs to be reinforced. I don't want to get glue everywhere, so I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna let that dry. Oh no, does this look like a unicorn? This was not supposed to be a unicorn thing. Okay, I thought I was gonna go ahead and glue this down, but this is too precarious at the moment. I'm just going to slide it to the side, let it dry, and we're gonna move on to the sign. All right, so here is the main back piece for our sign. I actually did warm up to the way it looks. Right after I spray painted it, I was like, I hate it, I don't like it, what have I done? But once it was dry, I decided it actually does make it a little bit more creepy, and it gives it a texture, and it doesn't just look like I spray painted this piece of cardboard. What do you think, you know? And then when I add my newly painted creepy little house to the mix, I think it really does come together and it looks pretty good. You can definitely still see the seam, but whatever, I'm not worried about it. And then I also painted my little Happy Halloween cutout with like a terracotta color spray paint. I like how it turned out. And then I also have this cotton twine that I got from the Dollar Tree. So I'm gonna use this to make it look like it's a hanging banner, because I have these two holes here so I can tie it through and kind of make it seem like it's hanging from the top. And just to jazz that up a little bit more, I'm gonna be using these beads that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna bead these onto the string, but I'm also gonna paint the beads. Obviously, this color does not go with what I'm doing here. And this is kind of a preview, kind of a warm up for the next project. And I feel like it'll tie it all together. But for now, let's just start by gluing down my house, and then we'll get to the beads. I think I'm gonna use a combination of the E6000 and hot glue. I don't know what's gonna work better here, honestly. Oh, this little house does not want to stick down. I'm just gonna put a heavy book over this and hopefully it will get it to stick down. All right, heavy books are in place. We're just gonna hope for the best, and we're just gonna go ahead and work on this little mini garland. All right, so right now I'm just trying to figure out how many beads I need. All right, I wasn't really going for any pattern here, but I think that's probably enough beads. So I'm just gonna take the beads out and I'm gonna spray paint them, and then I'll string them on, and it will be a masterpiece, obviously. Oh no, that was a terrible idea. Obviously what I did before did not work, so I got some string and got the beads on the string, taped it on the outside flaps of this box, and I'm just going to spray the beads while they're hanging. I saw this in another DIY video that I will link down below that I got the idea for the garland with the beads from. I should have just done exactly what he did. I thought I was gonna be smart and cut a corner, but clearly this is the way to go. All right, that's working so much better. Okay, so after the success of painting those beads outside, I just decided to get a bunch more beads done, because for my last project, my third project, I'm making another bead garland. It's not just gonna be beads, but I do need a good number of painted beads. So I'm just gonna get that done as fast as I can. It's not really a fast project, but I'm gonna try to do it fast. This bead doesn't even have a hole. Dollar Tree. I really wanted to be done with all three projects today, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen because I've gotta wait for all of these beads to dry. So this is kind of a happy stopping place for me. My hands are covered in spray paint and glue. I'm sticking to everything and the sun is going down. So I'm gonna string my beads, spray my beads, and move on with my life. I tried to construct a mega strand with 2 boxes. Hopefully this works as well as the smaller box did, because I just didn't want to do it in more steps than I had to. All right, slight change of plans. Yes, I'm not gonna change my angle just to talk to you. I know I said I was done for the day, but really quickly, I'm just gonna paint these little skulls because they need time to dry. It just has to happen. And I'm on a roll and my hands are looking great. That is so gross. I've actually had really good luck with painting these little skulls by hand in the past, but for whatever reason, this color paint is just not giving good coverage and it's super streaky and I would have to do so many coats to get these covered. So I am hoping that this off-white spray paint will do the trick. All right guys, I'm back. My beads are dry, my skulls are dry, my glue is dry. So for those two projects, it's really just putting the pieces together from here on. And then I had one little extra idea for my centerpiece. I thought my centerpiece was done. I improved my candle a little bit and I don't know, I've got an option that I want to show you. I'll show you that now and then we'll get to work on finishing up the other two projects. As you can see, the E6000 did do the trick as far as getting the candle to stick to the skull. And I also used the other half of the candle that I chopped off yesterday to add some dripping wax down the candle and onto the skull. And I kind of went crazy with it, but I think it looks really good and way, way, way better than having it just plopped on the top, you know? And so this is option one. I could just go ahead and hot glue the skull down to the bowl and that would be look number one. That's option number one. I like this. I think it looks good. It's very minimal, black and white. That's cool. But here is option two that I came up with yesterday. This is a little like mini wreath that I got from the Target cheapo section. I really need to figure out the actual word for that. I think it was like $3. It's just like a mini wreath and you can actually detach it so you can mold it into different shapes. And I did detach it so I can make it a wee bit smaller to get it to fit down into the bowl. And then I drop my skull on top of the bed of leaves. And that is option two. And I think I like option two better. I like the little hint of green. It's a very muted green. And I think this looks really cool. Like, I mean, obviously I have to see everything else around it to make my final decision, but I think these are both really, really easy options. You could use any kind of greenery and I think it would work. It doesn't have to be this specific mini wreath. I don't know. I am just even happier than I thought I'd be with how this turned out. I thought it was gonna be kind of the simplest of my projects and it turned out to be maybe the coolest. I don't know, let me know what you think. Okay, let's move on to the sign. So the only thing I need to work on for our sign is the little beaded garland that I want to go from here up. And as you can see, my terracotta colored beads came out really well. I definitely want to give them fresh string because the string got super saturated with spray paint and I think it would just look a lot better if it wasn't like this crunchy, gross string. I want my sign about there. So I'm just cutting 2 pieces of this string that I can use to hang the sign. I don't think I've actually shown this little guy before in this video, but I've been using it to help me work with this string and this beads. It's just one of those little flossers that you get from the orthodontist. I use it to help me floss my teeth, and it also helps a whole lot with this string because it's not easy to thread through pretty much anything. All right, my mini Halloween garland is ready and I'm just going to position it kind of like this. I think it looks kind of cute if some of this string is showing, and so I think I'm just going to tape it to the back like this with a little bit extra exposed here. You want to see the back? It's nothing crazy, it's just 2 pieces of Scotch tape there. And I think that is secure enough to sit and look cute. Okay, moving on to my next project. I've got all of my beads ready and dry. And then I also have 8 little mini skulls. I got these from the Dollar Tree also. They came in a little set, but you can also get these from Target, I found. And they're very, very similar. And even before I started recording this video, to get these skulls ready for the garland, I asked Grant to drill small holes on either side of the skulls so I could string the string through them. All right, so first let's get get all of the beads off of this messy string and start stringing all of this stuff together. Okay, as you can see, by a very scientific process, I have all of my beads lined up. I just kind of like grouped them into a line, and wherever they fell, they fell. And then here I have my skulls. So I'm going to kind of space them in here. I do feel like I should put these at even intervals, but I also don't feel like trying very hard. This is gonna be so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna get some string ready, get my flosser ready, and away I go. Okay, my little spooky, cute Halloween garland is almost complete. I have all of my skulls and beads in place, and now I'm gonna add some tassels to the end. I learned how to do this, almost pretty much this complete project is a direct ripoff from Justin Ray. I just discovered his channel, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and he has some of the best, coolest DIY videos, and this one is heavily inspired from him. And I've never made a tassel out of this string, but I learned how to do it from him, and it's about to happen, and I'm thinking it's gonna be real cute. Okay, I'm gonna use this little flap of cardboard off of a box that I cut off whenever I was doing my spray painting for the beads, and I'm gonna wrap my string around because I think I want like a longer tassel. I don't know how nice it's gonna look longer. Bigger is always better, right? I'm pretty sure that goes for everything. Chop, I'm gonna take my loops off. I did about 30, and now I'm gonna come around here and tie a little loop. So now I have my circle like this, and I go to the opposite end from where I tied, and I cut. And there's my extra long string tassel. All right, that's one down, and I've just got one more to make. I'm just gonna tie these towards the end. All right, it's finally time to hang this guy up. And then I realized all of my projects are done. So I'm setting everything up. I've got pumpkins from the nursery that I love. If you watched the vlog, you saw that. And then these skeleton hands are also from the Dollar Tree. I got them, I think last year or the year before, but I think they still have them. And to finish out styling this sign, I used a piece of the black creepy cloth from Dollar Tree and just draped it along the back. And here I'm setting up my centerpiece. This little hand candle holder is from Target, but all the other candles and candle holders are from the Dollar Tree. And then over here on my console table and around it, I set up all my other Halloween decor that I made for the past 2 years. Definitely go check out those videos if you want to see how I made all of this stuff. All right guys, I'm done. I am officially ready for Halloween, and I'm pretty sure this video is going out on October 1st. That means my Halloween wreath will officially be out on my front door, and I am so ready. Right when you walk in my front door, you see the dining room, and that is where all my decorations are right now. On the dining room table, around the record player, on the console, I've got my old stuff and my new stuff all together. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. I feel like all 3 projects were genuinely simple and totally doable, but so cute. I am so happy with how everything turned out. I am so happy with this room right now. If you guys try any of these projects, definitely post on social media. I'm at LeighAnnSays everywhere, Instagram, Twitter. I would love to see what you're making, even if it's just like a version of what I made. I love seeing what you guys do. I hope you guys are having a great Halloween season. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you have subscribed to my channel already, thank you so much. You are my people and I love you. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone. Please do not tell me that this looks like a unicorn. A crooked unicorn, no less. Hello? It's spooky.
Spooky spooks.
Who are those people, Tuna? What are they doing? How could they do this to you?